This Game Awards league claims to know everything that's going to happen at the show. Let's dive into it together. Block content.
Hello, this video is for good boys and girls.
What's happening, my block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Block Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. So we're all eagerly awaiting the Game Awards. Every year this happens in December, and it's always a very packed show with a lot of celebrity appearances, good live music, and also, of course, awards for games. And this year is going to be really special because, of course, our boy, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, is up for Game of the Year, and it's seeming super likely that we're also going to get a reveal. Some character reveal about Fighter 5, perhaps? Well, today we're talking about this leak that kind of tries to predict everything that's going to happen there, or this is a person on the inside that knows absolutely everything, and the reveals here are staggering. There's really a lot of incredible info to unpack here with games from whole other third parties and from PlayStation, from Xbox, and also the character from Smash Brothers, some Banjo news, and a lot more. Even Breath of the Wild 2 is discussed here. So let's talk about all of this because I am super excited for the Game Awards. I'm going to be live streaming it here on Blocked Content, and I want to talk about this leak right here. And of course, we have this brand new beautiful show called Question Block where I answer user questions that you guys send in. So please send through your questions at blockedcontentmail@gmail.com. I have so many great requests, answers about Smash characters or my thoughts on your favorite game or even how to make videos on YouTube. So please send them through. I read them all and I will discuss them in our next episode. And for all of you guys who like giveaways, we're giving away a Piranha Plant plushie at 50k, Cute Plant Boy, and this beautiful What's Happening by Block Buddies t-shirt, which I actually ordered one for myself. Subscribe to Blocked Content right now. Hit the subscribe button as you hear this and comment down below to enter for both the giveaways. Alright guys, let's head right into today's Blocked Content. And it just says the Game Awards, right? Game Awards 2017 logo. It's maybe a little bit outdated. And it goes on to say, Batman Arkham Legacy is revealed, scheduled for holiday 2020. World premiere, right? That's always what happens. The lights dim, world premiere. Crash Bash remake revealed, scheduled for June 19, 2020. Resident Evil 3 remake revealed, release date is unknown. Banjo-Kazooie remake titled Banjo-Redooey is revealed and scheduled for fall 2020. PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale 2 is revealed, scheduled for April 17, 2020. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes revealed, scheduled for summer 2020. Metroid Prime Trilogy revealed for Nintendo Switch. Sly 5 is revealed, release date is unknown. Grand Theft Auto 6 is finally shown off, release date is unknown. Gameplay of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is shown off with a scheduled release date for holiday 2020. And then Phoenix Wright is revealed to be Challenger Pack 5 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He says, you can screenshot this if you'd like. See you at the Game Awards. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have so much to unpack with these thoughts here because there's a lot of things here that I totally love, and if these are reveals that will happen, and if we do get gameplay for all these things, it's going to be really crazy. The internet is going to implode on itself. And also, really sorry about my voice. I'm a little bit sick, a little bit under the weather, but I had to do this, had to get this information out there because one of the things, Batman Arkham Legacy here, is of course, it sounds like all of the three games combined together, and maybe even like some mobile game stuff, right, that were like real complete big games. So maybe a lot of the legacy content from that franchise all together in one release. If that comes to Nintendo Switch, I'm going to be really happy. But yes, those games, critically acclaimed, even up for some awards back in the days. And yes, I think that they kind of retooled a lot of things that we knew about third-person action games, especially like a fighting third-person game, where it's really special to have all these counters, blocks, and this different way of moving that really fit Batman very well. They even implemented it in other games, kind of like they did with the Watchmen game, very tiny Watchmen game, but it had a very similar fighting style, and now it's all over the place. It was even in the Spider-Man game, which was incredible, and yes, to have all of that jam-packed into one little package, and to have it be appearing on the holiday of 2020, that's going to make me very happy, right? That's the year that we're going to be having Matt Reeves Batman movie with Robert Pattinson in it, so maybe there's little content with that new Batsuit in it, which would be incredible, right? It takes place in a little bit of a different time period, but yeah, one can still dream that they bring together all of the different eras, kind of like how they do with the Spider-Man game, right? Even the Tobey Maguire stuff is in there, and a lot of Tom Holland stuff is in there too, so people are really hyped up for this, and I could definitely see why. Batman is an incredible character, and throwing him in that Arkham Asylum kind of idea, and then Gotham City and expanding it, just made for a very great, very visceral thing. And you know, if you approach it with action or stealth, that was kind of your whole thing, and just to see it come together in a pack with 3 games or maybe even more, it's gonna make me very happy, right? So let me know. Crash Bash is of course one of the great games on the PlayStation, where it was actually sort of like a Mario Party-ish game, like mini game based, but Crash. And I really have fond memories of this game. I had the game originally, and I just played a bunch of it with my friends. Of course, it wasn't as refined as a game like Mario Party or Mario Party 2 or 3 would be, but it was, you know, serviceable. It had some really great mini games, like kind of like a magnetic pinball game, and some games where you like literally fight each other. So I think that there's a lot of great stuff in there that would translate well. But I also think, yeah, if you're gonna do this whole thing with Crash, where every single thing that you do now is a retread of a game that you did before, right? The racing game, the trilogy game, like you like literally remade 4 games already now. So maybe it's time to do something new with that franchise, right? Maybe it's time that you say, maybe we do have the skills in-house to make something new with Crash, because we already have all the game models, we have this whole new art style kind of all figured out, we have the move set and the things that people love, we got great feedback, so now it's time. If we get Crash Bash, that game felt like lackluster in terms of content. Not too many mini games, not too many playable characters. I feel like, yeah, if you're going to expand it in the way that they do with the racing games, we might be in for quite a treat, like June 19th, right? So Resident Evil 3 Remake is revealed, and yes, Resident Evil 2 Remake being up for awards, that's, yeah, making a lot of sense to me, but also the idea here is that eventually we're going to be happening the Resident Evil 4 Remake, and that's where I'm really going to get excited. Resident Evil 3, yeah, serviceable, not people's favorite game in the franchise at all, but I do think that if you remake that game, there's a couple of choices that you can do differently in terms of, yeah, like overall presentation and the way the game kind of works with the static camera angles and stuff like that, right? So the next thing is really interesting to me. Banjo-Kazooie remake titled Banjo-Redooey is revealed and scheduled for fall 2020. This is by far the most imaginative title. If this is a fake, if this is just someone speculating or making up a leak, this is gold. This is definitely what the next game should be called, because it's perfectly Banjo. First, it's like the perfect sequel to Tooie, right? Like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Banjo-Redooey. It does away with like the subtitle stuff with nuts and bolts, but it also like clearly says we're self-aware. Yeah, nuts and bolts didn't happen, right? It's Banjo-Redooey. We're gonna just reboot it, redo it, and this is gonna be different. And I really hope that this is true, because that feels like we learned from all the love from Smash Brothers. We're going to give the character that kind of a look, we're going to give the characters that kind of an emotion and a feel, and we are going to be doing it all over, right? That whole game on the Xbox didn't happen, and this is what we're really gonna do. So fall 2020, yes, the barren fall, that's gonna make me very happy. Now, for all you Smash fans, but yeah, on the PlayStation side, you're gonna be very happy. PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale 2 is revealed and scheduled for 2020 in April 17th. So this is interesting. I didn't think that they would do this. If this ends up being real, I'll be super surprised, because I think the game originally didn't really sell all that well, and of course critically it was kind of blasted for being a really big knockoff of Smash Brothers, but not just that, but also that core mechanics just didn't really work, the things with the super attacks, and that's the only way that you can truly KO an opponent. So if they've learned from that, and if they've got maybe a new developer on board, yes, I could definitely see this being something special. It might even rival what they have at the moment, because yeah, we can see what happened with Crash right there. He's in a whole new resurgence of his career, right? Even the racing game is stacking up quite well against the big racing games, right? And even the platforming side of things doing quite well too. So could I see this being good? Yes, actually. I think that if you get the right talent, there's a really great talent at Sony, you could get a really in-depth, maybe even very different game to Smash Brothers and have it be the sequel to that game too. So in terms of characters, I really want to know from you guys down below which character should be in that crossover. For me, it's Lara Croft all the way. That's got to happen. I mean, it was just weird that it wasn't there, right? And which Lara Croft are you going to choose for this? I don't really know. Maybe you have different skins for the characters. That's going to be great. Now, next on the docket is something fun because I think that Jeff Keighley, who hosts the show, is going to have fun with this, right? If this is real, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remakes are revealed, and if they do this right, they do it with a presentation. We actually see some skateboarding dudes, and maybe even Tony Hawk shows up himself to talk about this game. That'd be completely amazing. Next up is Metroid Prime Trilogy revealed, and of course we got the Metroid Prime Trilogy on Wii, and that was really cool, you know, all the motion controller stuff, but we really want to see it in HD, and maybe even updated graphics for all the games, because we are going to be getting Metroid Prime 4, but it seems like it might be 2021 and not next year. So I'm really curious if this Metroid Prime trilogy will be different in any way from the Wii version, if there will be some sort of, you know, difference in visual quality, not just the upscaling to HD, but also if there's some other content there. Because we've been waiting for a very long time. There needs to be a reason that we've waited this long. Now, Sly 5 is revealed. Release date is unknown. Yeah, makes sense. The character will probably also appear in PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale 2, so to me, that kind of fits together very well. The next one is kind of unbelievable, right? Grand Theft Auto 6 is finally shown off, and the release date is unknown. Well, with these trailers, they usually show a little bit of the world, some screenshots, and some, you know, really great imagery of the locations to make you kind of feel, oh wow, this is realistic. This is what actually that place looks like. And I don't know what they're going to do. Like, a lot of rumors are going around that it's going to be a lot of different parts of the world and that you kind of switch to these different locations. So like 3 big world maps. I think that that would be incredible. But yeah, is it a little bit too early for Grand Theft Auto 6? Let me know in the comments down below. And we move on to one that's going to make you guys very happy. Gameplay of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is shown off with a scheduled release date for Holiday 2020. Now, first off, I think Holiday 2020 is maybe doable. If the game runs on the very same engine, if it has the same overworld with additions to it, maybe above or below the surface, then I could definitely see this happening, right? I mean, they worked very hard on the original Breath of the Wild for many years, but that was mostly getting everything to work because everything was brand new. So could this happen? Potentially, yes. Gameplay, I think, is a little bit early. I really want to see a little bit more of the story first, like tiny hint of what's to come. But if that's in gameplay form, I'm all for it. And we end off with something a lot of people have rumored, which is Phoenix Wright is revealed to be the Challenger Pack 5 for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, there's a couple of things inside of me that say, yes, this would be a great choice. One, it could ultimately happen to be that big, you know, hold it moment where everyone's like, what's going on? And then it's Phoenix Wright showing up, and then the whole thing basically blows up, the entire place, the audience cheers. I think that it could make for a really interesting reveal. Do I think Phoenix Wright deserves to be in Smash? He would be an interesting choice. I think that the character's already been in crossover games, and so we could kind of see how that would happen. Of course, Sakurai will make the character very different, but I also feel like this might not be the biggest punch that you can make. Of course, Phoenix Wright is known throughout the world. This isn't just a character that's loved by, you know, the Japanese audience. It's a very Western character as well, because the games were very, very well translated and sold very well over here as well. So that has it going for it, and the character being original. But yes, we'll have all male characters for the first Fighters Pass, and basically almost all big humanoid characters, right? All white guys, basically. So to me, it's interesting that they'll take this choice. Yeah, get a little bit more diversity in there for the next characters, please. You know, we want to see different characters, different races, different genders. That's what's going to make Ultimate really ultimate and ultimately inclusive. But do I think that Phoenix Wright deserves to be the final 5th character? Well, I'll say this, it makes sense to me. I think that it would be a choice that would be in character for Sakurai at the moment, but another character like Crash, I think, would fit a lot better in terms of overall recognizability, especially for the Game Awards. You want to just drop a character that's going to make people talking. And Phoenix Wright is a great character, but I think that people will be talking for the day of the drop and not any day after. So yes, I would be excited. I hope something like it happens. So let me know. You know, you can screenshot this. We totally did. We totally talked about it too. So do you guys have any favorite things? Do you guys think it's real? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'm super excited, so thank you guys so much for sending in all your comments. They're so much fun to read through. If you comment down below, that could actually be featured and read out loud by me in our next video. And today's comment question is, do you believe the Game Awards leak? Let me know down below. And for our previous comment question, our answer comes to us by way of Angry Toad, saying, I feel like with the amount of leaks out there for Smash Brothers, if someone is right, it's purely coincidence, and people will look at that and go, wow, he got it right. There are so many leaks that I am hoping Sakurai, a character far from left field that no one had mentioned. These are interesting thoughts, and of course, everyone has their opinion with this. People that are really following the leaks very closely in a very detailed, concise manner, and seeing, all the info that people like Sabi got right, or Vergaben is saying, or other characters saying this throughout the internet, and some people are just coasting. Some people don't want anything to do with leak culture. That I completely understand every side of the argument. For me, it's fun to hear all this information. It's fun to kind of talk about it and think, which character could it be? What could happen to the future of this game and other games as well? But it's not something that I hold in a very high regard. If it's going to happen, Nintendo will probably leak it some way. So yes, I think that it's pure coincidence most of the time, right? Well, people got it right. It totally leaked. Well, in terms of the hero, Erdrick, I definitely think everyone who called that, no one had a source on the inside. That character was just coming. It just made way too much sense. And for other characters, kind of like Banjo, it just made too much sense too. So if these things leak, sometimes it might just be someone who made it up and isn't actually leaking this thing. And basically it just coincides with it actually happening. And on the other side of the spectrum, there are people with something on the inside. There are screenshots posted before the game came out of debug modes and stuff like that and character reveals. So that could also happen. So keep an eye out for both sides of that argument. So thank you so much for sending in your comments. These are so much fun to read through every single day. And of course, thank you guys on Patreon so much. You guys who support block content make the channel possible. And if you want to have yourself created as a little cartoon block content character, or maybe join me for a Skype session, or have your own video idea animated by me, well, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent, because there's a bunch of incredible rewards just like that waiting for you. And sometimes you don't even have to pay a whole lot. You just get great stuff for great value. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, it's kind of really easy. It's as easy as like the first level of Mario Brothers, where you just run up to the first question block, and if you get to evade that Goomba, right, you just jump on the question block, get that mushroom, and grow, right? So jump at that block and get that mushroom. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and for watching. I'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more blocked content. See ya.